Unfortunately for Alex Bowman, he misses out by 10 points. Fortunately for Austin Cindric, after he had that misfortune, he's done enough.
Alex Bowman had the best streak in NASCAR at Kansas Speedway, 6 straight top 10 finishes that no other driver could touch. But then Christopher Bell showed up at Bristol and ended Bowman's championship dreams in the most painful way possible.
He's not done with yet. Here comes Brad. Hits him hard.
Good, perfect. Stay
Bell
on, dude.
sustains it, and Bell's gonna drive to victory.
What just happened at Bristol that nobody saw coming? For months, Alex Bowman has been the king of Kansas Speedway. This guy had something that most NASCAR drivers can only dream of: a perfect streak. 6 races in a row at Kansas, 6 top 10 finishes. Nobody else even came close to matching that record. But then Christopher Bell showed up at Bristol and changed everything in the most brutal way possible. Kansas Speedway is probably the trickiest track NASCAR visits all year. It's a 1.5 miles of pure chaos where tires wear out fast and anything can happen. Most drivers will tell you that Kansas beats them up, no matter how good they are. But not Alex Bowman. This track has been his playground. Since May 2022, Bowman has been untouchable at Kansas. Every single time he races there, he finishes in the top 10. In fact, Kansas is where Bowman has more top 10 finishes than any other track, 11 total. Earlier this year, at the Advent Health 400, he started way back in 21st place and still managed to finish 5th. That's the kind of magic Bowman has been working at Kansas. Meanwhile, Christopher Bell has been quietly building his own streak. 4 straight top 10 finishes at Kansas put him second on the list, but he was always chasing Bowman's shadow. During the Spring Kansas race this year, Bell spent most of the day right behind Kyle Larson, trying everything he could to get past him. Larson ended up winning by less than a second, but Bell showed he belonged with the best drivers. Here's where things get interesting, though. Bell has led laps in the last 7 Kansas races. That's tied for the longest streak by any driver at that track. He's finished 8th or better in 7 of his last 8 Kansas races. The guy clearly knows how to handle that tricky surface, even if he's never actually won there. But winning at Kansas doesn't matter anymore for Bowman, because his championship dreams just got crushed at Bristol. The playoffs started rough for Bowman. He had a terrible race at Darlington, then finished 26th at Gateway. Those 2 bad races put him in a really deep hole. Even though he bounced back with a top 10 at Bristol, it wasn't enough. When the elimination came down, Bowman was out along with Austin Dillon, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Josh Berry. Bell, on the other hand, was having the time of his life. He sits 4th in the playoff standings with 29 points above the cutoff line. That's a pretty comfortable spot that almost guarantees him a spot in the next round. But Bell wanted more than just to advance. He wanted to win. And that's where the humiliation happened. Bristol Motor Speedway was the elimination race, and Bowman knew he needed something special to stay alive. He had worked his way up to 3rd place with just 4 laps left in the race. For a moment, it looked like he might have a shot at winning and automatically advancing to the next round. But there was one big problem. Bowman was on old tires. Meanwhile, Bell had fresh rubber. When that final restart happened, Bell didn't just beat Bowman, he embarrassed him. Bell flew past Bowman and everyone else who was stuck on old tires like they were standing still. Bowman could only watch as Bell drove away to end his 24-race losing streak.
I don't know, old tires just really pushed up in the middle of the corners, so I was hoping that those guys on old tires would push up, and they did. They did, and I was able to get by.
After the race, Bell was pretty honest about what happened. He said a lot of luck went into winning that race, especially making the right pit stops and having fresh tires at the end. But luck or not, Bell delivered when it mattered most while Bowman's season ended. Bowman handled it as well as anyone could. He told reporters he was proud of the effort and that finishing 8th felt good after 2 terrible weeks. But you could hear the disappointment in his voice when he said they had never been eliminated in the first round before. The worst part for Bowman? He knew there wasn't much he could do differently. When you're on old tires and everyone else has fresh ones, you're basically a sitting duck. Bowman admitted he knew it was going to be really bad on that restart, but they had to try anyway. This win meant everything for Bell and Joe Gibbs Racing. They actually swept all 3 races in the opening playoff round, with Bell joining Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin as winners. That's the kind of teamwork that wins championships. But Bell isn't getting too comfortable. He knows the next round is going to be tough, especially with his biggest fear lurking later in the playoffs. Bell has always struggled at Talladega, calling it the hardest track for him every year. In 11 starts there, he's only managed one top 5 finish and has crashed out 3 times. When Bell talks about Talladega, you can hear the worry in his voice. Right now, though, Bell has bigger things to focus on. The next stop is Kansas, and this is where things get really interesting. Remember Bowman's perfect Kansas streak? Well, it's still alive since he's been eliminated from the playoffs. But Bell has a real chance to make some history of his own. If he can get another top 10 at Kansas, he'll extend his streak to 5 in a row. More importantly, he'll be one step closer to matching Bowman's incredible record. The crazy part is how fast everything changed between these two drivers. Just a few weeks ago, Bowman was the Kansas King heading into the playoffs with high hopes. Bell was the challenger looking up at him. Now Bell is the one with championship dreams, while Bowman is just racing for pride. NASCAR is also making things more interesting with new tires at Kansas. Goodyear just announced they're bringing a brand new right-side tire that should change how teams approach the race. Justin Fantozzi from Goodyear says teams will have to choose between grip and speed, which could shake up everything we expect. Bell has already admitted that his team needs to get better at qualifying if they want to win a championship. He's been frustrated watching his teammates start on the front row while he struggles to make the top 10 in qualifying. Bell knows that starting position matters a lot for getting stage points, and stage points can decide who advances in the playoffs. At New Hampshire, Bell qualified 19th and could only watch as Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney dominated the race. He managed to finish 6th and score some stage points, but it wasn't the performance he wanted. Bell was honest about it afterward, saying his whole team needs to buckle down and improve their qualifying if they want to go deeper in the playoffs. The timing couldn't be more perfect for this Kansas showdown. It's been since late May that NASCAR raced on a 1.5-mile track, so everyone is going to be a little rusty. But Bell has shown he knows how to handle Kansas, and Bowman's streak proves he's still dangerous there even without championship hopes. What makes this story so wild is that nobody predicted how quickly things would flip between Bell and Bowman. Bristol changed everything in just one night. Bell went from chasing Bowman's records to being the guy everyone else is chasing. Meanwhile, Bowman went from Kansas King to eliminated playoff driver faster than most people could believe. The numbers tell the whole story. Bowman still has that amazing 6-race Kansas streak and 11 total top 10s there. Bell has his 4-race streak and has led laps in 7 straight Kansas races. Both drivers know how to get around that tricky track, but only one of them is still fighting for a championship.